Welcome to a compilation of 101 weird and wonderful random fun facts to blow your mind. Let's dive right in. Number 1. Lizards have a fascinating ability to move their eyelids, allowing them to blink and clear debris from their eyes. Some species, like iguanas, can completely close their eyes to sleep or protect themselves from harsh sunlight. Others, such as geckos, lack movable eyelids and instead rely on a transparent scale called a spectacle to shield their vision. This remarkable adaptation helps lizards stay alert to predators and maintain their survival in various challenging environments. Number 2. The world-famous Mona Lisa painting by Leonardo da Vinci is surprisingly small, standing at just 30 inches tall and 20 inches wide. Despite its modest dimensions, it captivates millions with its mysterious smile and detailed artistry. Displayed in the Louvre Museum in Paris, visitors are often surprised to see how tiny the masterpiece is compared to its enormous reputation. Though petite in size, the Mona Lisa remains one of the most recognized and celebrated works of art globally. Number 3. Did you know that Mona Lisa isn't actually the subject's real name? Historians widely believe the woman in Da Vinci's masterpiece to be Lisa Gherardini, the wife of a wealthy Florentine merchant. The name Mona Lisa is derived from the Italian phrase Mona Lisa, which translates to Lady Lisa. Despite ongoing speculation about her identity, her enigmatic expression continues to spark curiosity and intrigue among art lovers, scholars, and tourists from around the world. Number 4. Levi's, the iconic denim brand, was founded in San Francisco in 1853 by a German immigrant named Levi Strauss. Originally, the company sold dry goods such as fabric, clothing, and household items to miners during the California Gold Rush. It wasn't until 1873 that Levi partnered with tailor Jacob Davis to invent the first riveted denim jeans, designed to withstand the demands of manual laborers such as miners and railroad workers. Number 5. Before they became known as jeans, Levi's iconic pants were originally called waist overalls. The founders used this practical term to emphasize their purpose as durable workwear for miners and laborers during the late 19th century. Over time, as denim pants gained popularity beyond the workforce and entered mainstream fashion, the term jeans became widely adopted. Today, what started as rugged workwear has evolved into a global symbol of style and casual comfort. Number 6. Rolex, the legendary luxury watch brand, was founded in 1905 by Hans Wilsdorf and Alfred Davis under the original name Wilsdorf and Davis. The company initially imported high-precision Swiss watch movements and housed them in British cases, catering to an audience that valued quality timepieces. It wasn't until 1908 that the brand adopted the name Rolex, chosen for its simplicity, elegance, and ease of pronunciation in multiple languages, setting the stage for worldwide recognition. Number 7. In 1926, Rolex introduced the Oyster, the first wristwatch marketed as waterproof and dustproof. It gained fame when swimmer Mercedes Gleitze wore it during her English Channel swim, proving its durability. However, the first waterproof watch was actually the 1919 Waltham de Paulier, used by soldiers during World War I. Despite this, Rolex's marketing genius made the Oyster an enduring icon of innovation, trusted by divers, adventurers, and watch enthusiasts for decades. Number 8. Many Germanic languages name Thursday after Thor, the Norse god of thunder. In Denmark, Norway, and Sweden, the day is known as Torsdag, while in Germany it's called Donnerstag, meaning Thunder Day. The Netherlands follows with Donderdag, a similar reference to thunder. This linguistic connection to Thor's mythology reflects the cultural impact of Norse traditions across Europe, with his influence persisting in the language and calendar systems long after the Viking Age. Number 9. In ancient Estonia, Thursdays were considered sacred, and people refrained from working on that day. Instead, they celebrated evenings of Turu, a time dedicated to honoring Turu, a deity associated with thunder and fertility. These special evenings were filled with communal gatherings, storytelling, and rituals aimed at ensuring prosperity and good fortune. Even today, elements of this tradition can still be seen in Estonian folklore and rural customs, highlighting the deep ties between culture and spirituality. Number 10. The ancient Egyptians regarded onions as powerful symbols of eternal life. Their layered structure, with rings within rings, represented infinity and the cyclical nature of existence. Onions were so sacred that they were often placed in the tombs of pharaohs to provide sustenance in the afterlife. Archaeologists have even discovered traces of onions in the eye sockets of mummies like Pharaoh Ramses IV, showing how deeply intertwined onions were with beliefs about immortality. Number 11. Onions are often used in schools to teach students how to use microscopes because their cells are large and easy to observe. When a thin slice of an onion is placed under a microscope, students can clearly see the cell walls, nuclei, and other structures. This makes onions an ideal introduction to biology, helping young learners understand cell composition and basic scientific observation. Thanks to their accessibility and clarity, onions have become a staple in classrooms worldwide. Number 12. Arctic foxes are the only land mammals native to Iceland, thriving in its harsh and frozen landscapes. With their thick, insulating fur and compact body shape, they are perfectly adapted to the extreme cold. Arctic foxes primarily feed on birds, small mammals, and even leftovers from larger predators. Their ability to survive in such a challenging environment makes them a symbol of resilience, and they have played an important role in Icelandic folklore and culture for centuries. Number 13. Arctic foxes have an incredible adaptation, color-changing fur that helps them blend into their surroundings. In the winter, their fur turns a brilliant white, making them nearly invisible against the snowy landscape. When summer arrives, they shed this coat and replace it with a gray-brown one, which camouflages them against rocks and tundra. This seasonal transformation is essential for survival, allowing them to stay hidden from predators while also improving their ability to hunt effectively. Number 14. In 2019, studies conducted in China and Puerto Rico found a surprising link between consuming allium vegetables, such as onions, garlic, and shallots, and a lower risk of several types of cancer. Researchers believe that the sulfur compounds and antioxidants found in these vegetables help reduce inflammation and protect cells from damage. These findings reinforce the long-standing belief that onions and their relatives are not only flavorful additions to meals, but also powerful allies for health. Number 15. The largest bell in the Leaning Tower of Pisa, called La Sunta, weighs about 7,900 pounds, the same as an adult female African elephant. This enormous bell, along with 6 others, forms a musical scale when rung. Despite the tower's famous tilt, engineers have carefully managed the bell's use to avoid causing further instability. The bells have historically been used to mark important occasions, adding to the tower's charm and historical significance. Number 16. The Leaning Tower of Pisa was never meant to lean. During its construction in the 12th century, builders quickly realized the foundation, made of soft clay, sand, and shells, was too unstable to support the heavy marble structure. As the ground shifted unevenly, the tower began to tilt. Over the centuries, numerous attempts were made to stabilize it, including counterweights and soil removal. Today, thanks to careful engineering, the famous tilt has been preserved without risking collapse. Number 17. The earliest records of yogic practices can be found in the ancient Hindu scriptures known as the Vedas, specifically the Rig Veda, which dates back to approximately 1000 BC. These texts contain hymns and philosophical concepts that laid the foundation for modern yoga practices. Early yogis focused on meditation, breath control, and spiritual discipline as a path to enlightenment. Over time, these principles evolved into the diverse yoga styles that millions of people practice today for both physical and mental well-being. Number 18. Uganda is one of the youngest countries in the world, with nearly 48% of its population under the age of 15. This youthful demographic presents both opportunities and challenges as the country works to expand its education and healthcare systems. With such a large proportion of young people, Uganda is often seen as a nation full of potential, with the younger generation expected to play a crucial role in shaping its economic and social future. Number 19. On average, men tend to get bored of shopping trips after about 26 minutes, while women can often shop for much longer periods without losing interest. Studies suggest that men typically prefer a goal-oriented shopping approach, while women enjoy browsing and exploring different options. To accommodate this difference, Many stores have introduced features like seating areas or entertainment options to keep men occupied while their partners continue shopping, making the experience more enjoyable for everyone. Number 20. A staggering 95% of people admit that they text things they would never say in person. Whether it's confessing feelings, apologizing, or even confronting someone, texting provides a sense of distance and security. Without face-to-face interaction, people feel more comfortable expressing themselves honestly or emotionally. However, this reliance on digital communication can sometimes lead to misunderstandings, as tone and nuance are often lost in text messages, making it harder to convey true intentions. Number 21. Human blood cells have different lifespans, each serving a unique function within the body. Red blood cells, which carry oxygen, live for about 4 months before being replaced. White blood cells, the body's defense against infections, can last anywhere from a few hours to several days. Platelets, responsible for blood clotting, circulate for about 9 days. This constant renewal ensures that the body remains healthy and capable of fighting infections, healing wounds, and delivering vital nutrients throughout the bloodstream. Number 22. The world's shortest tree, the dwarf willow, thrives in cold and harsh environments such as the Arctic tundra. Rarely growing more than a few inches tall, it spreads out horizontally to withstand freezing winds and extreme conditions. Despite its tiny stature, this resilient tree plays an essential role in its ecosystem, providing shelter for small animals and contributing to soil stability. The dwarf willow's ability to survive in such unforgiving climates showcases nature's remarkable adaptability. Number 23. Redheads have a unique genetic trait that makes them more resistant to certain types of pain, yet more sensitive to others. Studies suggest that red-haired individuals typically require about 20% more anesthesia during medical procedures compared to people with other hair colors. This difference is linked to the MC1R gene mutation, which affects not only hair pigmentation, but also pain perception and the body's response to anesthesia. As a result, doctors often adjust doses for red-haired patients accordingly. Number 24. As of 2024, Madagascar has a larger population than Australia, despite the latter being a much bigger country in terms of land mass. While Australia is known for its vast open spaces and relatively small population, Madagascar, with its tropical climate and rich biodiversity, supports a rapidly growing number of people. This surprising contrast highlights how geography, climate, and historical development can influence population distribution in different parts of the world. Number 25. Even though the Statue of Liberty stands proudly on Liberty Island, which belongs to New York, it is actually closer to New Jersey's mainland. This has led to ongoing debates between the two states over the years regarding ownership and territorial claims. However, despite its geographical proximity to New Jersey, the statue's official designation and governance fall under New York's jurisdiction. Regardless of the technicalities, the statue remains a universal symbol of freedom and democracy. Number 26. A squid's brain is uniquely shaped like a torus, or a ring, with its esophagus running directly through the middle of it. This unusual anatomy means that if a squid swallows food that is too large, it risks damaging its own brain. Despite this odd design, squids are highly intelligent creatures, capable of problem-solving, complex communication, and even using tools. Their fascinating nervous system and adaptability make them one of the most intriguing creatures in the ocean. Number 27. Some insects and small birds experience time differently from humans, seeing the world in what seems like slow motion. This is because their eyes process visual information at a much higher frame rate, allowing them to detect rapid movements that would appear as a blur to us. This ability gives them a crucial advantage when escaping predators or catching prey. Imagine how slow the world might seem to a fly dodging a swatting hand in what feels like slow motion to them. Number 28. Beaver anal secretions, known as castoreum, have been used as a natural vanilla flavoring in certain foods and luxury cosmetics. This musky aromatic substance, produced from glands near the tail, has a scent reminiscent of vanilla and has been historically used in perfumes and food additives. Though it's rarely used today due to synthetic alternatives, castoreum remains a fascinating example of how unexpected natural sources have played a role in human culinary and cosmetic history. Number 29. The world record for stuffing drinking straws into a mouth at once stands at an astonishing 650 straws. Achieved by a dedicated record breaker with incredible jaw control and determination. This bizarre feat required not only physical endurance, but also strategic placement to maximize capacity. Such records, while amusing and seemingly impractical, showcase the lengths people will go to in order to achieve recognition in the Guinness World Records and push the limits of human capability. Number 30. Spread across an entire lifetime, the average person spends about 1 full year sitting on the toilet. Whether it's reading, scrolling on a phone, or simply waiting, those brief daily moments add up significantly over the years. This statistic serves as a humorous reminder of how much time we devote to everyday activities without even realizing it. With modern distractions, bathroom time has become more than just a necessity. It's often a brief escape from a busy day. Number 31. The year 46 BC, known as the Year of Confusion, lasted an incredible 445 days. Julius Caesar introduced 3 extra months to realign the Roman calendar with the seasonal year, as it had fallen out of sync. This adjustment was part of his larger effort to reform the calendar, eventually leading to the creation of the Julian calendar, which became the standard for centuries. The extended year caused widespread confusion, but successfully corrected the misalignment. Number 32. Every minute, the human body sheds over 30,000 dead skin cells. This constant shedding is part of the body's natural renewal process, as new skin cells replace the old ones. In fact, the outermost layer of your skin regenerates completely about every 28 days. Surprisingly, a large portion of household dust consists of these tiny flakes of skin, which accumulate over time. Despite being invisible to the naked eye, this process is crucial for maintaining healthy skin. Number 33. Tears contain a natural painkiller known as leucine and enkephalin, which helps reduce pain and improve mood. This chemical, released when we cry, acts similarly to endorphins, providing a calming effect during times of emotional stress. Whether caused by sadness, frustration, or even joy, shedding tears isn't just a physical response. It's also a built-in mechanism for self-soothing and emotional release. So the next time you cry, remember that your tears are actually helping you feel better. Number 34. Babies are born with around 300 bones, but as they grow, many of these bones fuse together, resulting in the 206 bones that make up the adult human skeleton. This natural process allows for greater flexibility during infancy, making it easier for babies to move and adapt to the world around them. Over time, certain bones in the skull, spine, and limbs gradually merge, providing the strength and support needed for an active adult life. Number 35. William Addis invented the first mass-produced toothbrush, while serving time in prison in the late 18th century. Using a small piece of cow bone and bristles from a pig, he crafted an early version of what would become an everyday essential. Upon his release, he turned his invention into a successful business, revolutionizing personal hygiene. Before toothbrushes, people used rags, sticks, or even crushed shells to clean their teeth, making Addis's creation a game-changer in oral care. Number 36. A hummingbird's tongue is a marvel of nature, capable of flicking up to 18 times per second while feeding. This rapid movement allows the tiny bird to efficiently lap up nectar from flowers, consuming its body weight in food daily to maintain its high-energy lifestyle. Hummingbirds have specialized tongues with tiny grooves that draw in liquid through capillary action, making them some of the most efficient feeders in the animal kingdom. Number 37. Bangladesh experiences 6 distinct seasons, unlike the 4 found in many other parts of the world. These seasons, summer, monsoon, autumn, late autumn, winter, and spring, each bring their own unique weather patterns and cultural significance. The monsoon season, for example, brings heavy rains that are essential for agriculture, while winter provides a brief period of cool, dry weather. The rich seasonal variation influences the country's festivals, farming cycles, and daily life in profound ways. Number 38. The world's first underground railway opened in London in 1863, revolutionizing urban transportation. Originally called the Metropolitan Railway, it featured steam-powered trains running through tunnels beneath the city. Today, it's known as the London Underground or the Tube, and it has grown into a vast network serving millions of passengers daily. Despite its modern upgrades, remnants of the original Victorian design can still be seen in some of the oldest stations. Number 39. London's iconic red buses have been painted their signature color for more than 100 years. The bold red hue was chosen in the early 20th century to help distinguish the buses from competing transport companies, making them easily recognizable to passengers. Today, the red bus is a beloved symbol of London, appearing in countless movies, postcards, and tourist snapshots, cementing its place in the city's cultural identity. Number 40. The tradition of Halloween has its roots in the 8th century, when the Catholic Church designated November 1st as All Saints' Day, also known as All Hallows' Day. This made October 31st the eve of the celebration, which was called All Hallows' Eve. Over time, the name evolved into Halloween and eventually Halloween. The holiday has since grown into a global celebration filled with costumes, candy, and spooky festivities, blending ancient customs with modern fun. Number 41. Roses are among the oldest flowers known to symbolize love and passion, with their history dating back over 5,000 years. Ancient civilizations, including the Romans and Greeks, associated roses with their goddesses of love, such as Aphrodite and Venus. The tradition of giving roses as a gesture of affection continues today, with different colors carrying specific meanings: red for love, yellow for friendship, and white for purity. Their timeless beauty and fragrance make them a universal symbol of romance. Number 42. Wisconsin is known as the Badger State, but not because of the animal. The nickname actually originates from the state's lead miners in the early 19th century. These miners, who worked in the hills and dug tunnels for shelter during the harsh winters, were compared to badgers because of their burrowing lifestyle. The term stuck, and Wisconsin adopted the badger as an official state symbol, appearing on everything from sports team logos to government seals. Number 43. Space has a distinct smell, often described by astronauts as a mix of diesel fumes, gunpowder, and barbecue. This unique odor is caused by particles from dying stars, known as polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons, which are released into space and stick to astronauts' suits when they return to the spacecraft. Though space itself is a vacuum and odorless, these residual particles create a scent that reminds astronauts of burnt metal and charred steak, adding an unexpected sensory experience to space travel. Number 44. Louis Braille was only 12 years old when he began developing the tactile reading system that would change the lives of visually impaired people around the world. Inspired by a system of silent military communication, Braille simplified and adapted it into an efficient method using raised dots. Despite facing challenges and initial resistance, his system eventually became widely accepted, providing blind individuals with a way to read and write independently, revolutionizing accessibility in education and communication. Number 45. Before European explorers arrived, the area now known as West Virginia was home to a diverse range of indigenous tribes and cultures. Tribes such as the Shawnee, Cherokee, and Iroquois lived off the land, utilizing its abundant resources for hunting, fishing, and farming. The rugged Appalachian terrain provided natural protection and shaped their way of life. Though European settlers eventually displaced many of these tribes, their influence remains embedded in the state's culture, place names, and history. Number 46. Broccoli is part of the same family as cabbage, known as the Brassicaceae family, which also includes cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, kale, collard greens, and kohlrabi. This family of vegetables, commonly referred to as cruciferous vegetables, is packed with nutrients and health benefits. Rich in fiber, vitamins, and antioxidants, broccoli is widely recognized for its role in supporting heart health, digestion, and cancer prevention. Despite its sometimes polarizing taste, it remains a popular and versatile ingredient in many cuisines. Number 47. Famous composer Ludwig van Beethoven was highly particular about his morning coffee, insisting that each cup be made with exactly 60 beans. This meticulous habit reflects his obsession with precision, which extended beyond music to everyday life. Beethoven's coffee ritual became well known among his friends and contemporaries, who often found his demands amusing. Whether it was superstition or simply a preference, His love for coffee fueled his creative genius and rigorous composition process. Number 48. Venetia Burney, an 11-year-old girl from England, suggested the name Pluto for the then ninth planet of our solar system. Inspired by the Roman god of the underworld, she believed the name suited the distant, mysterious planet. Her suggestion was accepted in 1930, and Pluto remained a planet until its reclassification as a dwarf planet in 2006. Remarkably, Venetia lived long enough to witness Pluto's demotion, bringing her connection to the celestial body full circle. Number 49. The wood frog has an extraordinary survival ability. It can hold its urine for up to 8 months. During the freezing winter months, this amphibian's body enters a state of suspended animation, with its metabolism slowing down almost entirely. Urea, usually excreted as waste, is recycled within the frog's body to help prevent ice crystals from forming in its tissues. This incredible adaptation allows the wood frog to survive harsh conditions and resume normal activity when spring arrives. Number 50. Avocados contain a natural fungicide called persin, which is harmless to humans but highly toxic to certain animals, including cattle, goats, and birds. If ingested in large amounts, persin can cause respiratory distress, heart problems, and even death in some animals. While avocados are a beloved superfood for people, pet owners should be cautious about leaving them within reach of animals. Despite this toxicity, avocados remain a nutrient-rich fruit packed with healthy fats, fiber, and vitamins. Number 1. Jackie Coogan, the beloved actor who played Oliver in Oliver Twist and Uncle Fester in The Addams Family, is believed to have taken justice into his own hands. After his childhood friend was kidnapped and murdered, Coogan allegedly joined a mob that stormed the prison and lynched the perpetrator. Talk about life imitating art. Despite his dark past, Coogan went on to leave a legacy in Hollywood and even inspired the famous Coogan Law to protect child actors' earnings. Number 2. Ever wish your farts didn't stink? There's a magical over-the-counter product called Bismuth Subgalate, sold under the brand name Devrom, that can make your gas smell less awful, or even odorless. Originally made for people with short bowel syndrome, which can create some powerful smells, it's perfectly safe for anyone looking to stay fresh. Whether you're stuck in a crowded elevator or just want to avoid embarrassment, this little pill might just be your secret weapon for stink-free living. Number 3. Did you know dead people can get goosebumps? Even after life ends, the human body still has a few surprises left. Goosebumps happen when tiny muscles contract, and after death, rigor mortis can cause similar effects. This eerie phenomenon can make the hair stand up, adding an extra spooky element to an already unsettling situation. It's all thanks to lingering nerve activity, proving that the body can still react to its environment, even when it's not supposed to anymore. Number 4. Male giraffes have a rather unusual way of checking if a female is ready to mate. They repeatedly headbutt the female's bladder until she urinates, then taste the pee to see if she's ovulating. If the pee test comes back positive, it's go time. While this might sound strange to us, it's just another day in the wild. Giraffes are all about efficiency, and this unique method ensures that they only put in the effort when it really counts. Number 5. Believe it or not, a full head of human hair is strong enough to support up to 12 tons of weight. That's roughly the size of 2 elephants hanging from your scalp. Each strand of hair may seem delicate, but when grouped together, they create an impressive natural rope. No wonder hair has been used for centuries in everything from ropes to wigs. So the next time you're having a bad hair day, just remember how powerful your locks really are. Number 6. Cockroaches have a pretty wild love life. Male cockroaches don't just woo their mates, they literally stab them. This bizarre mating process is called traumatic insemination, where the male drills his reproductive organ into the female's body to impregnate her. While it sounds painful, cockroaches have been surviving like this for millions of years. It's one of the reasons they're such resilient creatures. Love might hurt, but for cockroaches, it's just another day in the dating world. Number 7. The famous philosopher Jeremy Bentham might not be alive, but he's still hanging around, literally. His stuffed body is on display at the University of London, complete with his real skeleton, dressed in his favorite clothes. Although his actual head was once displayed too, it's now safely stored due to deterioration. Bentham's presence continues to inspire students and academics alike, proving that his legacy and his body have stood the test of time in the most unusual way possible. Number 8. Rainbows are more than just pretty colors in the sky. They're actually named because of how they're formed. The term rainbow comes from sunlight reflecting, refracting, and dispersing through rain droplets, creating that classic arc. But did you know there are also moonbows, dewbows, and glory bows? These rare variations occur under special conditions, showing that the sky has even more colorful surprises to offer. Nature sure loves to keep things interesting with its dazzling light displays. Number 9. A moonbow is like a rainbow's mysterious cousin, appearing at night when the moon's light reflects off moisture in the air. Unlike bright daytime rainbows, moonbows are usually faint and appear white or gray to the naked eye. But don't be fooled. Under the right conditions, you can see subtle colors. Moonbows are rare and require a full moon, clear skies, and just the right amount of mist. Spotting one feels like witnessing a secret nighttime phenomenon. Number 10. Ever heard of a dewbow? It's a tiny rainbow formed when sunlight hits dewdrops on grass, leaves, or even spider webs. These delicate little arcs are nature's way of sprinkling some morning magic across the landscape. Since dew only forms in the early morning, dewbows are fleeting and easy to miss. Next time you're out for an early walk, look closely. You might just spot a dewbow glistening in the sunlight, giving the world a touch of rainbow charm. Number 11. A glory bow is a fascinating optical phenomenon that appears as a colorful halo around objects, often seen by pilots flying through misty clouds. This effect is caused by sunlight interacting with tiny water droplets, creating a circular rainbow-like glow. People standing on mountains sometimes see a glory bow surrounding their shadow, giving it a mystical aura. It's like nature's way of saying, "Hey, you're pretty special." Spotting one feels like having your own personal light show in the sky. Number 12. The national anthem of Greece isn't just a song. It's an epic tale with 158 verses. That's right, this anthem is more like a historical ballad than a short patriotic tune. Fortunately, only the first couple of verses are usually performed at events, sparing audiences from a marathon sing-along. If you ever wanted to impress a crowd with a musical feat, memorizing the entire anthem would definitely do the trick. Just be prepared for a long performance. Number 13. Pregnant women have a unique way of figuring out if their water has broken. It's all in the smell. Amniotic fluid has a sweet, almost sugary scent, while urine does not. If they're unsure whether they're about to have a baby or just had a little accident, a quick sniff can provide the answer. It's one of those fascinating ways the body gives subtle clues, making it easier for expectant mothers to know when it's time to head to the hospital. Number 14. Those tiny white bumps around a woman's areola are called Montgomery glands, and they serve an important purpose. They produce a special oil that keeps the skin moisturized and protected during breastfeeding. Even more amazing, they emit a scent that helps guide newborns to their food source. It's nature's way of making sure babies find their way to nourishment with ease. So, those little bumps aren't just decorative, they're an essential part of the breastfeeding process. Number 15. Maryland might be famous for its blue crabs, but did you know its official state sport is jousting? That's right, knights in shining armor are alive and well in the Old Line State. Jousting tournaments, featuring riders charging at each other with lances, date back to colonial times and are still celebrated today. So, if you ever wanted to live out your medieval dreams, Maryland is the place to be. Just don't forget your armor. Number 16. Once upon a time, a massive 10-foot-tall ape called Gigantopithecus roamed the earth. Fossils suggest that these towering primates may have buried their dead, which hints at a level of intelligence previously thought unique to humans. Some even believe they could have inspired myths like Bigfoot. Though extinct now, their remains provide fascinating clues about ancient ape behavior and their mysterious lives in the dense forests they called home. Imagine running into one of these gentle giants. Number 17. If you thought blind people see only darkness, think again. Completely blind individuals don't see blackness at all. They see absolutely nothing. It's nearly impossible for sighted people to imagine, but it's like trying to visualize out of the back of your head. There's simply no visual input to process. Understanding this can help shift perspectives on blindness and what it really means to experience the world without sight. Number 18. Dogs might have a big appetite, but they also have a lot of teeth to match. Puppies start with 28 baby teeth, but by the time they're fully grown, they have a whopping 42 permanent teeth. That's more than humans. No wonder they're so good at chewing everything in sight. Regular dental care is just as important for dogs as it is for humans, so keep those chompers clean to ensure a happy, healthy pup. Number 19. Dalmatians are famous for their black and white spots, but did you know they're born completely spotless? When they're born, their coats are pure white, and their first spots don't show up until they're about a week old. Over time, their unique patterns develop, and no two Dalmatians ever have the same spots. That makes each one truly one of a kind. If you've ever seen a newborn Dalmatian, you might be surprised by how different they look. Number 20. Dogs have a surprising way of staying cool. They sweat through their foot pads. While panting is their main cooling mechanism, their paws also help release heat. This is why you might notice damp paw prints on hot days. Next time your furry friend seems overheated, give their paws a cool rinse to help them out. It's just another fascinating way dogs are built to handle all kinds of weather conditions while keeping their tails wagging. Number 21. When it comes to speed, greyhounds are the fastest dogs around, reaching speeds of up to 45 miles per hour. That's faster than most cars in a school zone. Built for sprinting, greyhounds have lean, muscular bodies and an incredible stride that allows them to cover ground with ease. Whether they're racing on the track or chasing a ball, they're the true athletes of the canine world. If only we could borrow some of their energy. Number 22. Fleas may be tiny, but they have some seriously impressive jumping skills. These little pests can leap up to 350 times their own body length. To put that in perspective, if humans could jump like fleas, we'd be able to clear an entire football field in a single bound. No wonder they're so hard to catch once they get on your pet. Their superpowered legs help them escape danger and find new hosts with ease. Number 23. Hummingbirds are the only birds that can fly backwards, and they do it with style. Thanks to their unique wing structure, they can hover in place, move sideways, and even dart backward in a flash. Their wings beat an astonishing 60 to 80 times per second, creating that signature buzzing sound. This incredible agility allows them to sip nectar from flowers with pinpoint precision. Nature really went all out when designing these tiny, high-speed flying wonders. Number 24. Crocodiles may look fierce, but there's one thing they can't do: stick out their tongue. Their tongues are firmly attached to the roof of their mouths, preventing them from moving it around like other animals. This adaptation helps them keep their airway clear while swimming and makes them more efficient hunters. So, while they might be all teeth and muscle, you'll never catch a crocodile playfully sticking out its tongue at you. It's just not part of their reptilian charm. Number 25. Starfish are fascinating creatures, but did you know they don't have a brain? Instead, they rely on a network of nerves to sense their surroundings and control movement. Their bodies are surprisingly complex, with each arm having its own nerve center to help them move independently. Even without a brain, they're expert survivors, capable of regenerating lost limbs and adapting to their environment. They might not be the sharpest creatures in the sea, but they sure are resilient. Number 26. Slugs might not be the fastest creatures, but they have an unusual advantage: 4 noses. These specialized sensory organs allow them to detect chemicals, moisture, and even light in their environment. 2 of their noses are used for smelling, while the other 2 help them sense touch. This heightened sensory ability helps them navigate dark, damp places with ease. So while they might look simple, slugs are actually quite sophisticated when it comes to sniffing out their next meal. Number 27. Only female mosquitoes bite, and they do it for a good reason: egg production. Male mosquitoes prefer to sip on flower nectar, but the females need the protein from blood to develop their eggs. Using their specialized mouth parts, they pierce the skin and suck up blood with surprising efficiency. So the next time you're scratching a mosquito bite, you can blame the ladies for your itchy discomfort. Fortunately, not all mosquitoes carry diseases, but it's still best to avoid them. Number 28. Polar bears may look white, but their skin is actually black. Their fur is translucent and reflects light, giving them their snowy appearance. This black skin helps them absorb and retain heat from the sun, keeping them warm in freezing Arctic temperatures. Underneath all that fur, they also have a thick layer of fat for extra insulation. So while they might blend perfectly into their icy surroundings, their true color is hidden beneath their fluffy white disguise. Number 29. Bats are the only mammals capable of true flight, and they do it with incredible skill. Unlike birds, which have rigid wings, bats have flexible, webbed wings that allow for precise maneuvering in the air. They use echolocation to navigate and hunt, sending out sound waves and listening for echoes to locate their prey. Whether swooping through caves or darting around in the night sky, bats are expert flyers that play a crucial role in controlling insect populations. Number 30. A newborn kangaroo called a joey is tiny, about the size of a lima bean. When they're born, they're blind, hairless, and completely dependent on their mother. The little joey crawls into the mother's pouch, where it continues to grow and develop for several months. Inside the pouch, it has everything it needs, from warmth to nourishment. Eventually, it pokes its head out to explore the world before taking its first hops. Nature's built-in baby carrier is pretty amazing. Number 31. Moths have an unusual digestive system. They don't have stomachs. Instead of using a traditional stomach to break down food, they absorb nutrients directly through their intestines. This allows them to process their meals quickly and efficiently, which is important since their primary goal is to find a mate and reproduce. Some moths don't even eat at all, surviving solely on the energy they stored during their caterpillar stage. Who knew these fluttering creatures had such a unique biology? Number 32. George Washington's dentures weren't made of wood, as the myth suggests, but of elephant ivory and walrus tusks. His dental issues were well documented, and he relied on these unusual materials to keep up appearances. The dentures were uncomfortable and stained easily, requiring frequent maintenance. Despite their challenges, Washington persevered, leading a nation while dealing with some serious dental discomfort. Imagine giving speeches with a set of tusk-filled teeth. Not exactly the most comfortable situation for the first president. Number 33. Reindeer milk is richer and fattier than cow's milk, perfect for life in the Arctic. With a fat content of around 22%, it provides essential energy for reindeer calves to survive the harsh conditions. The high fat content helps insulate their bodies and keep them warm in freezing temperatures. If humans tried drinking it, they'd find it thick and creamy, more like heavy cream than regular milk. It's the perfect fuel for these winter-ready creatures. Number 34. Goats and sheep are seasonal breeders, meaning they only mate during specific times of the year. This ensures that their offspring are born during seasons when food is plentiful and weather conditions are ideal. For most breeds, mating season happens in the fall, so the babies, called kids and lambs, arrive in the spring. Farmers take advantage of this natural cycle to plan their herds and maximize productivity. It's all part of nature's clever way of ensuring survival. Number 35. An elephant's sense of smell is truly extraordinary. They can detect water from up to 3 miles away. With their highly sensitive trunks, packed with millions of olfactory receptors, they can sniff out underground water sources and even distant lakes. This incredible ability helps them survive in arid environments where water can be scarce. Their trunks aren't just for smelling. They also use them to drink, spray water, and even show affection. Elephants really are nature's multitaskers. Number 36. Deer might look like they'd happily munch on hay, but they actually can't digest it properly. Unlike cows, their digestive systems are designed for fresh, leafy vegetation, like twigs, leaves, and grass. When given hay, especially dry or coarse varieties, they struggle to extract enough nutrients from it. This is why feeding wild deer hay in the winter isn't the best idea. Nature knows what's best for them, and their diet is fine-tuned to their environment. Number 37. A skunk has a famous defense mechanism, but did you know it won't bite and spray at the same time? Skunks prefer to avoid confrontation, giving plenty of warning before they unleash their smelly weapon. They stomp their feet, hiss, and raise their tails to let potential threats know they mean business. If they do spray, they'll conserve their stink for emergencies. The spray is incredibly strong and can be smelled from miles away, making skunks the ultimate defense experts. Number 38. The fear of animals is called zoophobia, and it can range from mild discomfort to extreme anxiety. People with zoophobia might experience rapid heartbeat, sweating, and panic at the mere sight or thought of animals. This phobia can be triggered by specific animals like dogs or snakes, or by all animals in general. Fortunately, therapy and exposure techniques can help individuals overcome their fears. After all, animals are an important part of our world, and most are harmless. Number 39. Humans have a surprising genetic connection to slugs. We share 70% of our DNA with them. Despite our obvious differences, slugs and humans have many of the same basic biological processes, such as cell division and energy production. This genetic similarity is a reminder that all life on Earth shares a common ancestry. Next time you see a slug in your garden, remember that you're more closely related to it than you might think. Number 40. Chimpanzees are our closest living relatives, sharing an impressive 98.4% of our DNA. This close genetic link explains their intelligence, social behaviors, and even emotional expressions. Chimps can learn sign language, solve puzzles, and form complex social hierarchies. Their similarities to humans are fascinating and provide insight into our own evolutionary history. Whether they're using tools or showing empathy, it's easy to see why chimps are considered our closest cousins in the animal kingdom. Number 41. Fireflies are fascinating little creatures, and here's a fun fact. They don't bite or have pincers. These glowing insects are completely harmless to humans and animals. They use their bioluminescence to attract mates and communicate, lighting up warm summer nights with their beautiful flashing patterns. Despite their gentle nature, fireflies have an important ecological role, helping to control insect populations. So next time you see them flickering in the night, enjoy their harmless glow without worry. Number 42. Dogs may love table scraps, but some human foods can be dangerous for them. Chocolate, macadamia nuts, cooked onions, and anything containing caffeine can be harmful and even toxic. These foods can cause a range of health problems, from upset stomachs to more serious issues like organ damage. It's important to keep these items out of reach and stick to dog-friendly treats. After all, our furry friends deserve to stay happy, healthy, and safe from potential dangers. Number 43. No two tigers have the same stripes. Each tiger's pattern is as unique as a fingerprint. These distinctive markings help researchers and conservationists identify individual tigers in the wild. The stripes also serve a practical purpose, acting as camouflage in dense forests and tall grasses. Whether hunting or hiding, tigers rely on their unique patterns to blend into their surroundings. So, if you ever see a tiger in the wild, remember that it's one of a kind. Number 44. Donkeys have an amazing field of vision thanks to the placement of their eyes. They can see all 4 of their legs at once. This wide range of vision helps them navigate rough terrain and avoid potential dangers. Unlike horses, donkeys have a strong sense of self-preservation and rarely make risky moves. Their excellent eyesight, combined with their natural caution, makes them sure-footed and reliable companions for carrying loads across challenging landscapes. Number 45. At birth, a panda cub is incredibly tiny, about the size of a mouse, weighing only 4 ounces. Despite their large, cuddly adult appearance, baby pandas are born pink, hairless, and completely helpless. They rely on their mothers for warmth and nourishment, growing rapidly over the next several months. Pandas have one of the most dramatic size transformations in the animal kingdom, going from a tiny newborn to a 100-pound bamboo-munching giant in just a couple of years. Number 46. Oysters have a pretty unique superpower. They can change their gender multiple times throughout their lives. Depending on the environmental conditions and mating needs, they can switch from male to female and back again. This incredible ability helps ensure the survival of their population by allowing them to adapt to changing situations. So the next time you enjoy oysters, remember that they might have gone through a few identity changes before ending up on your plate. Number 47. The giant anteater is a truly fascinating creature, with an average length of about 6.5 feet, half of which is its long, bushy tail. With their elongated snouts and powerful claws, anteaters are perfectly adapted to feast on thousands of ants and termites each day. Despite their somewhat awkward appearance, they are excellent diggers and can tear into tough termite mounds with ease. Their long tongues can flick in and out up to 150 times per minute. Number 48. Hummingbirds have incredibly fast wings, beating an astonishing 60 to 80 times per second. This rapid movement allows them to hover effortlessly in the air while sipping nectar from flowers. Their hearts beat just as fast, reaching over 1,000 beats per minute when in flight. This high-energy lifestyle requires them to eat constantly, consuming up to twice their body weight in nectar every day. These tiny birds are like buzzing little energy machines in the natural world. Number 49. Dolphins have a fascinating way of sleeping. Only half of their brain rests at a time. While one hemisphere sleeps, the other stays awake to monitor their surroundings and ensure they come up for air. This unique adaptation allows dolphins to stay alert to potential dangers while still getting the rest they need. Unlike humans, they don't enter full unconscious sleep, instead experiencing a lighter, more controlled rest. It's just another reason dolphins are considered some of the ocean's smartest creatures. Number 50. Dogs have way more taste buds than you might think, about 1,700 of them. While humans have around 10,000, dogs still have enough to enjoy different flavors and textures. They may not be as picky as we are, but they can distinguish between sweet, sour, bitter, and salty tastes. However, their sense of smell plays a much bigger role in their eating habits. If something smells good, chances are they'll gobble it up without hesitation. Number 51. Grapes can catch fire in a microwave. When you cut a grape almost in half, leaving a small strip of skin connecting the two halves, and place it in the microwave, it creates a tiny plasma burst. This happens because the grape acts as an antenna, trapping electromagnetic waves and causing the water and sugars inside to superheat rapidly. The result? A small spark of plasma, which looks like a miniature lightning show right in your kitchen.